everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to YogiMe. My name is Hannah. We'll be doing 45 minutes of yoga. I'll just give everybody a minute or two to join. We've got 2 minutes till class starts at 6. We do class every Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. for 45 minutes, and then Saturday morning, 9 a.m. for an hour. So we'll just give everybody a minute to join. If you don't already have some water, maybe grab some water, grab your mat, get it all situated. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. Feels like forever since we've been in the gym. All right, looks like people are joining. We'll get started here in just a moment. But for those of you who are practicing with us live, we are asking if you would like to, if you're willing to participate, if you could take a picture of like your setup or yourself. We are trying to put together kind of a collage of all the members practicing and working out at home. So if you can remember to do that, I'll put Tracy's email in the comments after this class, and then if you take a picture, you just email it to her. You can send it in to the Fit Me Wellness Facebook page. That'll work too. But it'd be nice to see everybody working out, because honestly I can't see you guys. You can just see me. So I'll get started. So we're gonna get started in a child's pose today. So bring your big toes together and your knees wide, maybe as wide as your mat, just so that your torso has room to fit in between your thighs. Walk your hands out forward, and then just relax here. So you can bring your forehead down to the mat. And gently bring your hips back towards your heels. You can let your forearms rest here. If it's more comfortable, you can even bring your elbows out. Every pose is going to look a little bit different, so if this isn't comfortable, you can always come up on your knees. You can even bring your knees together and just let your torso rest on your thighs. And just start to bring your awareness to your breath. And if you haven't already, draw your awareness to your breath as you make your breath deeper. Draw your breath all the way down to the very bottom of your lungs. And notice your rib cage expanding and contracting with each inhale and exhale. Notice your belly expanding and contracting with each inhale and exhale. Take a few more nice deep breaths in this pose. And then as you're still breathing deep down to the very bottom of your lungs, start to walk your hands a little bit forward. Bring your forearms up off the mat. Make this a slightly more active child's pose. So really think about lengthening your spine, drawing your chest down towards the floor. And maybe come up to the pads of your fingertips. Feeling a little bit of strength in the arms. And then begin to slide your fingers or your hands forward just a few inches. And then untuck your toes and come up to your downward facing dog. So the first active pose of the class. You're in an upside down V shape. Your knees can be bent as much as comfortable. Really think about lengthening that spine, pulling your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then look forward as you take a couple baby steps towards the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold or a dangling posture. So your head and your neck are nice and loose, just dangling. Your arms are dangling. You can even bring your hands to grasp opposite elbows. You can shake your head yes, and shake your head no. Feeling a touch through to the entire backside of your body. Your knees can be bent, they don't have to be perfectly straight. And then release your hands down to your shins and lift up halfway. So you have a flat back, your spine is lengthening. Pulling the crown of your head towards the front of the room. And then exhale as you come back to fold. And then inhale, halfway plant your hands on the mat, step your feet back to plank. And hold here for a moment. And then slowly lower all the way down to the mat. So bending from your elbows, keep your elbows hugged in. Untuck your toes and come into a cobra. So straightening your elbows just until your body tells you to stop. Keeping your thighs down on the mat. And then bring your chin down to the floor. Tuck your toes. Press up to plank. And lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And then drop your knees wide. Bring your big toes to touch. And sink back into your child's pose. So drawing your hips down towards your heels, pulling your chest towards the floor, lengthening your spine, reaching your hands forward. And then start to slide your hands forward or walk them forward until your hips are right over your knees. Bring your knees in closer together so that they're about hips distance apart. Walk your hands forward and let your heart melt towards the floor. And then walk your hands back so that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, hips right above your knees, in your tabletop position. Then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and bring your right arm behind your left arm, setting your right shoulder down on the mat. And maybe place your right cheek down on the mat. And then use your left hand, press into the mat, and reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And set your right hand back down. Bring your left arm up towards the ceiling, stack your shoulders, and then bring your left arm behind your right arm. Set your left shoulder down, set your left cheek down. And then use your right hand to press into the mat. Reach your left arm up, stack your shoulders, inhale. And then exhale, set your left hand back beneath. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. Scooping your tailbone up. Letting your heels fall down towards the mat. And then look forward, bend your knees, take a step or a hop to the front of the mat, and lift up halfway. Inhale. Exhale as you fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, your hands to your sides. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back into plank, and chaturanga lower to the floor with quality. Inhale to cobra, shine your heart forward. And exhale, drop your chin, tuck your toes, press up to plank and down dog. Take 5 breaths here. Look forward, bend your knees. Take a step or a hop to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, reach up, stand up, inhale. Exhale, your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach up. And exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back into plank. And chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Then exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And again, take 5 breaths here. And reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then step your right foot up in between your hands, coming into your crescent lunge. So reach up with both hands. Bend into your right knee. You're on the ball of your left foot. Reaching your fingers up while reaching your shoulders down away from your ears. And then bend your elbows, come into cactus arms or goalpost arms so that your elbows are making 90-degree angles. And then if you would like to, look up and take a back bend here. See how far back behind you can look. And then lift back up, reach back up, and then start to reach forward, pulling your chest forward so that you've got a nice long line from the crown of your head to your left ankle. And then bring your arms out to your sides like airplane wings. And see if you can bring your right shoulder to meet your right knee. And then use your core, lift back up. Lift your chest up, reach your arms up, crescent lunge. And then frame your right foot, so bring your hands to the floor on either side of your right foot. And then lift up so that you're standing on your right foot. Left leg comes up, back behind you for standing splits. So you can keep your hands on the floor. Lift your left leg to any degree. Doesn't have to be lifted high. And then when you're ready, step your left foot back down on the mat and return to your crescent lunge. Let your left heel spin down, open up to a T, warrior 2. Guys. So bend into your right knee, sink your hips down low, bring your shoulders down away from your ears, and gaze over your right middle finger. Flip your right palm up, drop your left hand to your left thigh, and reach your right arm up and over. Reverse warrior. Pulling your right hand away from your right knee, and letting your left hand slide down towards your left ankle. And then bring your right elbow to your right knee. Reach your left arm up overhead, side angle pose. So you're creating a nice long line between your left fingertips and your left foot. Pulling your hand and your foot away from each other. And then use your core, lift back up, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot, step your right foot back and bring it through a flow. Chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. And step your left foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Left knee is bent up to 90 degrees on the ball of your right foot. Reaching up through your fingertips. Letting your shoulders fall away from your ears. And then bend your elbows, come into cactus arms. So your elbows are at 90 degrees. You're opening up your chest. And then start to look up. And see if you can draw a line on the ceiling, seeing how far back you can look. And then lift back up, reach back up. And then reach forward, start to lean forward. Creating a long line between the crown of your head and your right foot. Reaching up. And then reach your arms out to the side like airplane wings. And see if you can hover your left shoulder right above your left knee. Staying nice and strong here. And then use your core, lift all the way back up. Reach your arms up, crescent lunge. Back to where we started. And then bring your hands to the floor, frame your left foot. Jump or step your right leg up so you're standing on your left foot and your right leg comes up to any degree. Standing splits. Your left leg doesn't have to be straight, but make sure your hips are nice and square. One's not falling lower than the other. And then step your right foot back down on the mat, coming back to our crescent lunge. Back to where we started. And then spin your right ankle down, open up to a T, warrior two. Drop your shoulders, sink your hips down, gaze over your left middle finger. Flip your left palm up, drop your right hand to your right thigh, and reach your arm your left arm up and over. Reverse warrior. Lengthening the entire left side of your body. So pulling your left hand away from your left knee. Right hand draws down towards your right ankle. Gaze is up. Use your core, lift back up, warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down, frame your left foot. Step your left foot back to plank. And chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up high, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. And step your right foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Bend your elbows, come into cactus arms and look up. Take a back bend. Come back up to center, reach your right arm, or reach your arms up, crescent lunge. And start to reach forward. Reach, reach, reach. Then bring your hands out like airplane wings. See if you can bring your right shoulder down to your right knee. Use your core, lift your chest back up, reach your arms back up, crescent lunge. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you frame your right foot. Step into your right foot, reach your left leg up, standing splits. And step your left foot back down, reach back up, crescent lunge. Spin your left heel down, up and up to a T, warrior two. Flip your right palm up, drop your left hand, reverse your warrior. Right elbow to right knee, side angle pose. Reach up overhead with your left hand. And then use your core, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your right foot. Step your right foot back into plank. And bring it through a flow, chaturanga. Lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. And reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot up in between your hands. Lift up, crescent lunge. Bend your elbows to cactus arms. Look up. Take a back bend. And then lift your chest back up. Reach your arms up. And hinge forward, reach forward. Creating a long line between the crown of your head and your right heel. Then bring your arms up like airplane wings. Left shoulder to your left knee. And hover. And then lift your chest back up, reach your arms back up, crescent lunge. Bring your hands to the floor, frame your left foot. Bring your right leg up, back behind you. Standing splits on your left foot. And then step your right foot back down, reach back up, crescent lunge. Spin your right heel down, open up to a T, warrior two. Flip your left palm up, drop your right hand, reverse warrior. Left elbow to left knee, reach your right arm up overhead. Stacking your shoulders here. Then use your core, lift back up, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your left foot. Step your left foot to plank, chaturanga, lower to the floor. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And breathe. And bend your knees, set your knees down on the mat. Cross your ankles deeply and come into a seat. Maybe scoot forward on your mat so that you can come to laying down on your mat. Bring your hands to your sides. Bring your ankles right below your knees. And we'll come into our bridge pose. So using the strength of your legs, press your hips up towards the ceiling as high as they will go. And maybe you can wiggle your shoulders underneath you, clasp your hands together. And lift your hips higher. Bring your chest in towards your chin. Don't let your knees splay out too far. Keep them in line with your hips. And then unclasp your hands, let your hips come back to the floor. And drop your knees to one side and then the other, making windshield wiper motions with your knees. And then bring your knees back to center, right above your ankles. Bring your hands to your sides. And then use your leg muscles to press your hips up into bridge. Maybe wiggle your shoulders underneath. Clasp your hands together. And lift your hips up high. And unclasp your hands, let your hips come back down to the mat. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. And then bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And then lift your chest and your shoulders up off the mat. Lift your hands about a foot up off the ground. And drop your right foot your foot is at about the same height as your hands. And then reach your hands forward, trying to bring your hands closer to that right foot and trying to bring your nose to your left knee. Reaching. And then bring your right leg up. Drop your left foot so that it's about the height of your hands. Then reach for that left foot, bringing your nose to your right knee. Reaching. And then release. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Bring the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. You can let your head and your shoulders rest down on the mat. And then bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Bring the soles of your feet down to the mat. Then bring your right ankle to your left knee. And you can stay here if that's enough of a stretch, or you can lift your left foot off the mat. Maybe grab for your left thigh with both hands. And gently bring your left thigh in towards you. And breathe here. And release your left foot down to the mat. Bring your right foot to meet your left. And then bring your left ankle to your right knee. And you can stay here. Or reach for your right thigh with both hands. And gently pull your right thigh towards you. Breathing into your left hip. Whenever we do these hip openers, don't forget to breathe deeply. Just really like those deep exhales. And then when you're ready, you can release your right foot back down to the mat. Bring your left foot to meet your right. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then slide your hands down to grab the outsides of your feet. And then lift the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And gently use your strong arms to pull your knees down into your armpits. If your feet feel really far away, you can just grab the backs of your thighs. And spread your knees wide enough so that your torso can fit in between your thighs. And draw your sacrum, the very bottom part of your spine, to the floor. And then see if maybe you can straighten your knees. You certainly don't have to get them all the way straight. Just getting one last final stretch to the back sides of your legs. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself one final, very tight hug, little squeeze. And then you could send your legs out long. Coming into our final resting pose called Shavasana. So you can let your feet kind of flop open, your hands come to your sides, palms facing up. And you'll notice in this pose we don't need any muscles to keep us here. Everything is supported, every joint is supported by the ground. Since we don't need any muscles to keep us here, we'll just do a final check-in and releasing extra tension. So if you're holding any extra tension in your shoulders or in your jaw or in your brow or in your temples, now's a good time to just let it go. Knowing that for the next few minutes you don't need any muscles. You don't need any concentration to keep you here. You can just relax in this peaceful state for a few moments until I call you back. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe roll your ankles and your wrists. And take any movement here that feels natural, maybe bringing your arms up overhead, taking a big good morning stretch. And then however you want to get there, we will meet in a seated position. Bringing the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Lengthening your spine as you sit up nice and tall. And then as you inhale, scoop your arms up overhead. And then exhale as you bring your thumbs to heart center. Thank you for spending this time with me today. The light and love in me honors and acknowledges the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Hope you're doing well. See you soon.